Struggling casino operator The Star Entertainment Group will resume trading on the stock market today after finalising its half-year accounts. Joining us is Edward Boyd, our business reporter. Ed, good morning. So the company has just reported a loss of $302 million. Not a small amount.
Not a small amount at all. Bally's Corporation, remember, this big American business that are buying about 60% of the stock in the Star at a price of 8 cents per share. So the expectation is when they commence trading this morning, they'll start at 8 cents. Now, the company basically went into a trading halt in February, and they've been suspended ever since then while they've been trying desperately to find a funding arrangement to keep going. They've now found Bally's, who are basically going to take over this business. I've seen reports coming out of Bally's saying, how could this business have lost $302 million over just a 6-month trading period? It's a casino. They're designed to make money. The house is meant to always win. So Bally's, I understand, are flying to Sydney at the moment. They're going to come in there, have a look at the business properly and start to take things over. They've already given $100 million to the Star. So the Star now has some liquidity. Shareholders will be able to buy and sell shares from about 10:20 this morning.
Okay.
So expect to see it back on the stock market for the first time in more than 2 months. Who knows where it's going to go?
I think that's an interesting point you make there, because the answer to that question is you've got these new regulations that have kicked in because of the accusations of money laundering, etc. And people just aren't going in because of that, and partly because they've got to, sign up whenever they go to the tables now, which a lot of people just won't be willing to do.
Exactly, yeah. Look, the Star's
revenue...
revenue...
change that? You probably got
their revenue was down 16% over that 6-month period, and it was $724 million. They would normally be getting more than $1 billion every 6 months through the casino. It's clearly gone down a lot. People aren't gambling as much, and there are now big regulations. You can't put $10,000 into a slot machine anymore and wash the money away, which is what used to be done in the past.
Yeah, that's right. All right. March unemployment numbers to be released tomorrow, Ed, so about 45,000 jobs expected to have been created during the month.
Yeah, and the unemployment rate, remember, it's been near 50-year lows. It's at 4.1% at the moment. The expectation is tomorrow it is actually going to increase to 4.2%. Remember, the Reserve Bank thinks it's going to get to 4.5% by the end of this year. So the unemployment rate going up is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it sort of works in the RBA's favour to cut rates next month. That's priced in a rate cut. 90% priced in for 25 basis points next month. There's also a 20% chance now of a 50 basis point cut next month. So the market pricing is fluctuating quite a bit.
20?
Sorry?
What's the percentage?
20% chance of a 50 basis point cut. I just checked this morning before coming on air.
So is that next month or the month after?
That's next month. That's the 20th of May. Okay. So we've got a big rate cut potentially priced in of 20% chance of a 50 basis point cut.
Right. Now, our pharmaceutical sector is preparing for the next round of the US President Donald Trump's tariffs. He mentioned yesterday that, it's coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
The US Commerce Department's kicked off this 3-week investigation looking into pharmaceutical products being imported into the US. Australia's trade in pharmaceuticals is about $1.6 billion with America. The big business that will be affected is CSL. They've got a large manufacturing facility in Broadmeadows, Victoria. A lot of their medical products from there end up in America, and then they get worked on in CSL's facilities in the States as well.
Yeah.
So their share price was sold off pretty heavily last week. It's now bounced back a bit. And obviously, pharmaceutical businesses are just waiting to see what is actually going to happen.
Well, the Americans, they don't like our pharmaceutical benefit scheme, but nothing's going to change on that. So, we could well be caught up in that for real. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks,
Chat to you again soon.